we have Caitlin Clark making her USA Senior Camp debut. Caitlin Clark basketball slowly yet surely is creeping up on us. Can't wait to see what she's got up her.
AJ Wilson just got caught off guard. And deep down, she knows it. This isn't the kind of moment you just brush off. It's the kind that lingers, the kind that sticks with you for years. Now imagine this. Caitlin Clark has just been given a major opportunity, an exclusive invite to Team USA's high-stakes December training camp. And make no mistake, this isn't just a routine practice session. This is where decisions are made, where players prove they belong on the biggest stages in sports, the World Cup and the Olympics. And AJ Wilson? Where is she in all of this? At home? Watching it all unfold from the sidelines? After months of subtle digs and not-so-subtle shots aimed at Clark, it almost feels like the tables have turned. What once looked like confidence is now being questioned, as reality delivers a harsh and timely wake-up call. But here's where things get interesting, and I want you to be completely honest in the comments. Is Aya Wilson actually feeling some type of jealousy toward Caitlin Clark, or is she just a fierce competitor who's being misunderstood?
Really listen to, honestly, because I'm in season. I have other things that we need to worry about than what other people have to say. I have a scout, I have 11 other minds on my team and in my locker room that we got to make sure that we're on the same mindset. So I really can't give you the best answer on that because I really don't pay any attention to it. My goal is just to go out there and be the best that I can be for my teammates, both on and off the court, and we're going to go out there.
Let me break down what just happened, because the irony here is almost unbelievable. Team USA, now under the leadership of Sue Bird as managing director, has officially announced the roster for its pivotal December training camp at Duke University. And don't get it twisted. This isn't some casual get-together or a few days of light practice. This camp shapes careers. This is where the biggest calls in American basketball are made. Who secures a place on the 2026 World Cup roster? Who gets the honor of representing the country at the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics? This is the stage where reputations are solidified, where future stars are selected, and where the next chapter of USA basketball begins to take form. And the player who received that highly coveted invite, the clearest possible stamp of approval at the highest level? Caitlin Clark. And the name that stood out for all the wrong reasons, the one that was impossible to ignore because it wasn't there? Aya Wilson.
Love Caitlin Clark. There's no... I think she's amazing. I watched every time I possibly could. And our league loves her. This has nothing to do... We're just doing our job. We're going to show up. Who is ever on the other team is on the other team. We don't really care. We're going to show up and do us. And so I think this narrative of like everybody hating on Caitlin Clark, and even the black and white thing, knock it off. It's not there. It's not there. So shut down the noise. And by the way, what is she, 22? She's a 22-year-old woman with a lot of pressure.
She's not perfect.
She's not.
Let that really sink in for a moment, because what just happened is hard to ignore. The same Aya Wilson who spent the past year throwing both subtle and direct shots at Caitlin Clark, whether through social media jabs or by constantly pushing the idea that she's just as marketable and valuable, is now missing from the most important roster in women's basketball. It's a shocking, very public blow that goes directly against everything she's been trying to prove. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is gearing up, stepping into that camp, and strengthening her position as the clear face of Team USA for the foreseeable future. Honestly, you couldn't have written a more fitting twist if you tried. More than anything, this moment highlights how out of sync much of the criticism toward Clark has been. It almost feels like a natural outcome of the confusion, and at times the chaos, that surrounded this entire situation.
Black women, but
let's take a closer look at who's being trusted to shape the future of Team USA alongside Caitlin Clark, because this roster feels like a preview of the next era of women's basketball. At the center, you've got Caitlin Clark. Then there's Paige Bueckers, finally stepping into the senior national spotlight. Juju Watkins is in the mix too, a young star with sky-high potential. Angel Reese is part of the group, keeping that intense Clark-Reese rivalry alive, this time on an international level. Add in elite talents like Cameron Brink and Aaliyah Boston, along with the experience of Kelsey Plum and Jackie Young, and it becomes clear this isn't just a roster. This is a long-term strategy, a vision for sustained global dominance. And Aya Wilson? She's nowhere to be found. Now, before anyone takes that the wrong way, this isn't about questioning her talent. Aya Wilson has already proven herself. Multiple MVPs, a champion, one of the most dominant forces in the WNBA. But this decision is about something bigger. Team USA isn't just picking the best players. They're choosing athletes who can represent American basketball on the world stage in every sense. That means performance, presence, and global appeal. And right now, Caitlin Clark checks every one of those boxes. This wasn't a random call either. Sue Bird, one of the greatest to ever play, and now the architect behind these decisions, understands exactly what it takes to win internationally and grow the game beyond borders. When she looks at Clark, she sees the full package. When she evaluates Wilson, it may simply come down to fit, not necessarily with the long-term vision Team USA is building toward. Because this vision goes beyond winning gold medals. It's about expanding the sport worldwide, bringing in new audiences, increasing visibility, and pushing women's basketball to a level it hasn't reached before. And Clark naturally drives that impact. Record-breaking viewership, massive jersey sales, huge social media traction, global brand interest, and the ability to inspire the next generation. That's the kind of influence Team USA wants at its core. And right now, Caitlin Clark is leading that charge.
Yeah, she's pretty incredible. I mean, you watch her and it's unguardable. There's nothing anybody can do to stop it. Like, she's just that dominant, whether it's her mid-range game, she can put it on the floor, she's just so athletic, but also she affects the game on both ends. Like, she's a really good defensive player, great rim protector, just so athletic, and obviously she's been able to shoot the three pretty well this year too, so it's fun to watch. Like I said, like, everybody in the league knows you can't guard it. You basically just live with what she's going to do to you every single night. It's just you contain it as best you can, and she's going to make some shots that are really tough. And like I said, like it's going to be a tall task. It's going to take multiple people.
To really grasp how big this moment is, you have to go back and see how everything unfolded. Aya Wilson's reaction to Caitlin Clark's rapid rise has, to many observers, felt like an uncomfortable mix of tension and competitiveness. It seemed to shift into focus around that massive Nike deal, one of the biggest endorsement moments the women's game has ever seen. Instead of simply applauding the milestone, Wilson responded with her own "I have a shoe to" push, sharing images of her Nike sneakers across social media. To some, it didn't land as intended. Rather than feeling celebratory, it came off more like someone trying to pull attention back in their direction, like showing up at someone else's moment and insisting on being part of the spotlight. The tone, at least from the outside, felt off, more reactive than supportive. And instead of embracing Clark's success as a breakthrough moment for the sport as a whole, it started to look like the beginning of a narrative that would only grow more complicated from there. Instead of treating it as a win for the entire sport, Aya Wilson seemed to turn the moment inward, making it about her own recognition. Then came the vague, message-filled posts. Phrases like, "What is delayed is not denied" became a recurring theme, almost a personal mantra, as Caitlin Clark's profile kept rising. The implication felt clear. Wilson believed her moment, her level of attention and success, was simply being postponed. But that moment never quite materialized. While Wilson was sharing messages about patience, Clark was actively building her spotlight, delivering eye-catching performances, showing off a magnetic personality, and making a level of impact on the game that's hard to ignore. The tension seemed to peak around the Time Athlete of the Year honor. When Clark became the first women's basketball player to receive it, the reaction from Wilson appeared to intensify, especially across social media. Many fans believe there has been ongoing tension between Aya Wilson and Caitlin Clark, pointing to social media activity, indirect comments, and reactions to Clark's rapid rise in popularity. Some argue Wilson has pushed back against comparisons and tried to highlight her own accomplishments as Clark's profile has grown. Others see it differently, viewing Wilson's actions simply as confidence and competitive drive from a veteran star. Meanwhile, Discussions around Team USA selections and Clark's inclusion in major training opportunities have fueled debate among fans about talent, influence, and marketability in shaping the future of women's basketball.